I'm Jim Felton. This is my dad, Richard. Welcome to Felton Angus Ranch.
Coming up.
I've fed a fair amount of cattle last few years out of our bulls. You know, we're still getting 85 to 90% choice and prime, but we're keeping our yield grade down to 2s and 3s.
No-nonsense, hard-working Angus genetics unique to the breed begins with a no-nonsense, hard-working breeder. Next on The American Rancher. Hello and welcome to The American Rancher. I'm Pam Minnick. Today we're at Felton Angus Ranch in southwestern Montana. The Feltons raise feeders from birth to harvest, so they know what it takes to develop seed stock that perform in the pasture and on the rail.
Well, we're here at Wisdom Ranch location. It's a place we bought a couple of years ago. We bought it basically for summer grazing. We raise a lot of grass here without too much effort.
My new sign looks pretty good up on that barn.
You notice we got the L upside down. One thing that we really like about the Big Hole Valley here on this ranch is it doesn't get too hot in the summertime, but if it gets to 90, it's pretty hot. The cows we have here are basically cows that we brought from eastern Montana. They had to scrounge for a living down there. They fit in really good here. They put on a lot of weight, and the cattle really do well here. They love the shade, the coolness, the good water that there's plentiful of, and lots of grass. And so it's a win-win-win situation for raising cattle here.
You can run on a quarter of the acres and still run twice as many cows, you know. So the carry capacity here is a lot bigger than what we had. It's probably about as heavy as you're going to find in the state, for a few acres per cow would be here.
That's about a drought-proof ranch as you'll find any place with minimal expense.
It can get pretty wintry up here, so we don't want to winter the cows up here, so we hang out as long as we can, or watch the weather report, and when it says it's going to start snowing, get out of here. I think last year we stayed here till
1st December, I think.
December there. So we haul them up about 1st June into May, and we do all the breeding up here, and works pretty well with the green grass and the cooler weather and the good water. The breed up's a lot better here. So we're towards mid to end of July now, and we're AIing right now, and then we'll kick our herd bulls out. So we're getting a lot of calves there at the end of April, first part of May there. So I don't know, we're breeding a little later this year, so we might actually be able to get them back up here and do some of the calving up here. We were putting in CIDRs into our last group of cows. CIDR is what they stand for, so everybody just calls them CIDRs. And then give them a shot of GnRH, and that was our last group of cows for the year that we were AIing, and we just put the CIDRs in, so next week we'll pull them and start breeding on them. We're doing a couple new things this year at the ranch. It'll be a couple years before you see it in the bull sale, but we've had really good luck selling our Hereford Angus cross bulls. So we got some commercial cows that we AI'd to a Simmental bull this year. War Paint is the name of the bull, and so yeah, hopefully here in the next 2 years or so, we'll have some Sim Angus 2-year-old bulls to sell. So we're going to try that, and we'll probably ramp up the Hereford Angus, sell a few more of them. They seem to be a crowd favorite, so been selling about 8 or 10 a year, but I think probably could sell 25 if we had them. Kind of doing the same with the Simmental. Hopefully we can do 50 or so crossbred bulls. I guess war paint is half Sim, half Angus, so these bulls will only be about a quarter Simmental, but just enough to give them a little, pop, I guess you could say.
After the break,
I was actually talking to a guy the other day that went to work at a ranch that has a Felton bull that's 15 years old and he's still breeding.
see what keeps no-nonsense bull customers coming back to Felton Angus. That's after the break, here on The American Rancher. Welcome back to The American Rancher. For decades, Felton Angus Ranch has produced hard-working Angus genetics unique to the breed. Their operation in Deer Lodge in southwestern Montana is set up to develop no-nonsense genetics that keeps Felton customers coming back year after year.
Right now we're at our Deer Lodge location. It's basically our feed base and our winter base. It's more of a kind of a farm feedlot. This is where all of our center pivots, and we produce all our feed here. And then we bring our cattle out of the high country at Wisdom for the winter down here and calve them. We either calve them out here, or we've got some ground just south of us here that we calve a couple hundred head out as well over there. The previous owner used it as a basically irrigated grazing. We've pretty well got it back into feed production for the most part, but here in a couple, 3 years, we'll have a lot of it back into alfalfa and hay and corn and stuff like that. So once we get it rolling, we'll really be able to put up the feed here. So we've got some pens here. We feed our bulls here, and then we got some fats here we're finishing here this summer. So here we have a pen of heifers that I'm finishing out. The black and the black baldies are predominantly Felton Angus sired out of our bulls. Obviously the Smokies and the white and the reds aren't, but get some cattle out of our bulls purchased and brought in, and instead of just getting numbers tossed at you from the association, we're actually getting some real hands-on data, some real world stuff. I think that's way more important to show what they'll do than what some computer tells us they should do. I've fed a fair amount of cattle last few years out of our bulls predominantly. What we're finding out is, we're still getting 85 to 90% choice and prime, but we're keeping our yield grade down to 2s and 3s. These are the steer mates for the heifers. We like a big stretchy black bull, and I think you can kind of see that in these steers here. There's a lot of fuel in the tank on these things, and they can really go. Our genetics are a lot different than a lot of folks. People open the sale catalog, and we've got a lot of different blood. We've got some older stuff we throw in once in a while. We actually have a herd sire here that we raise that is a grandson of the old Scotch cap bull. So we throw a little of that in there once in a while, but we like to be a place where somebody can come and get something different. Seems like a lot of places, if you miss one bull sale, you can go to the next, there's another one the next day, and it's not going to be any different because it's the same bloodlines. Between that and the way we run our cattle, we don't pamper them. We make them work for a living. They've got to work for us and not the other way around. And that's kind of been a motto around here for a long time. And if, guys buy their bulls here and they go shade up and don't breed their cows up on the mountain because it's so hot like we've been having lately, that doesn't do them any good, and then it doesn't do us any good either. We want them bulls out, punching cows and getting the job done for people. And we like a lot of length and a lot of spine in our cattle. That's what packs down the scale in the fall for folks is the length. You shorten them up, they just don't weigh as much. And when you're getting $3 a pound for your calves this fall, every You want to get every pound you can on the truck, and you know, our type of cattle that are long are beneficial to guys. We tend to think our feet are as good as anybody. There's a lot of issues with feet right now in the Angus business. You know, and I don't know, it doesn't seem to be getting any better. It seems to be getting worse. So if we kind of stay away from them bad-footed bloodlines, you know, Bull of the Month, you know, Sire of the Month Club, that's helped us keep our feet good. And I was actually talking to a guy the other day that went to work at a ranch that has a Felton bull that's 15 years old and he's still breeding. He's out with cows right now at 15 years old. I mean, you don't hear that much, you know. And so it was kind of mind-blowing when he told me that. He was laughing. He's like, "Can you believe that? You got a Felton bull that's 15 years old." And so I'm not saying every bull we raise is going to make it to 15 years old and still be breeding, but if you think about it, that bull's sired a lot of beef, you know. So we like longevity, we like long bulls, we like cattle that still have some grow to them. I mean, they got to grow a little bit. I mean, to you know, raise the type of feeders and fat cattle that we need, you know, to supply the beef with a limited cow herd that we have now. They got to have a little bit of size to them too, and be able to grow and feed the world, you know. Well, we got some new things coming to the ranch here. We're trying different things. So we are going to pap test our bulls. So we're going to take our bulls to, I think, around 6,700 to 7,000 feet elevation at our ranch at Wisdom. Then we're going to get them pap tested. So this year's bulls and this year's sale will have a pap score in the book. We're pretty excited about that. We get a lot of calls for pap tested bulls. So we didn't, till we moved and bought the Wisdom Ranch, we didn't have ground that was at high enough elevation in our mind to give you an accurate test. So now that we do, we're going to start doing it. You'll have all that information in the sale book, so we're looking forward to it, and I think our customer base is looking forward to it as well. And again, this year, we're taking our bull sale to the Superior Livestock headquarters in Hudson Oaks, Texas. Be all online and TV sale. The bulls will be here in Montana. There was a little bit of confusion. We did not last year, and this year we're not hauling the bulls to Texas. They're right here. They're available to view. Anytime you want to, just call and say, "Hey, I want to come look at the bulls." You know, might have some goodies here for you or whatever. And it'll be, you know, come over. You can pick your day. Come when the weather's nice. You don't have to deal with blizzards or bad roads. And actually had really good reviews last sale for doing that. The clients liked it. You know, they said they could stay home and buy bulls on their couch. They had heifers calving. They didn't have to worry about anything, and had a lot of positive feedback. So we're going to do that again. Like I said, the bulls are here. You can come anytime, look at them. Everything else stays the same. Just get a buyer number, and you can get on the phone. You can do it hitting a keyboard. I can take orders if you're not comfortable doing that. I bought quite a few bulls last year, you know, for on order. So we can handle it any way you want it done. And so everything can be done for this year's sale, online and digitally, but you're always welcome to come to the ranch and look at the bulls anytime.
Up next.
You know, you get some length, some stretch to these cattle, some bone to them. You know, those cattle will weigh what they're supposed to weigh when you go to process them.
Hear why one producer keeps Felton Angus genetics on his ranch when the American Rancher continues. Welcome back to the American Rancher. Felton Angus Ranch raises hard-working Angus genetics for hard-working ranchers nationwide. Bulls and females alike are developed in the high country of Montana, where they develop tough feet and athletic stamina. Ranchers and farmers across the country can attest to the power of these no-nonsense Felton genetics.
I'm third-generation rancher in Central California. My granddad, Doyle, started this cow-calf operation in 1908, and now my dad took it over, and now I'm taking it over. It's a family operation, whether it's gathering cows, branding, or feeding hay, we're always together.
The ranch
Basically, it's not a lot of land ownership out here in California, and these bigger old ranches that go back years and years. A lot of them were leased, and we've been basically a leased operation. We own some ground, but not a lot. We used to run quite a few feeder cattle, but we've been mainly a cow-calf operation, and started out with Hereford cattle years and years ago, back in the 50s and 60s, and then went to the Angus cattle. And then when I first got married, we were kind of doing some experimental things. I was probably one of the first ones out here in California to bring the Beefmaster herd in. Beefmaster cattle taught me to really look at these Angus bulls as far as carcass. And so when I buy bulls, or when we buy bulls, we kind of tried to go on the carcass end, and especially they were all off of our own raising cows or heifers. And so we kind of knew what our base cow herd was. And we got using a lot of the local bulls, breeders around here, and was very satisfied with them. And I mean, really some real progressive breeders here as far as carcass qualities and a lot of the other data that goes along with them. But we met Jim kind of through family history and stuff, and we watched Jim's bull sales first year, I think, before we bought any. Kind of liked these bulls, and so the next year we went ahead and we bought a few bulls and brought them out here, and very satisfied with them. The cattle really have a lot of grow. I really like the carcass quality in them, and I like the disposition. And
the reason why I started buying Felton bulls is mainly to get the length back in these cattle. You know, you get some length, some stretch to these cattle, some bone to them. You know, those cattle will weigh what they're supposed to weigh when you go to process them. Since I've been using Felton bulls, I've been weaning 700-pound steers, and we save about 30% of our heifers for replacements, and conception rate has went up 5 to 10% since we've been saving those heifers. And they once again turn into exceptional cows. You know, the hardiness to live, you know, and I think that goes back to that breeding. You know, Felton's been breeding up there, I think this is their 49th year, in some of the harshest conditions in Montana. And I think when you breed cattle that long, you get hardiness bred into them, and you know, the bulls show it, and so do the cows. They're exceptional mother cows. In those kind of environments, when you run cattle outside, you know, it gives those cattle a sense to live. So when you get Felton bulls and get them turned out, they go and breed cows. They're good-footed, got good structural bones. They don't breed 1 or 2 cows and then go sit in the corner by the gate and wait for a feed bucket. I buy the bulls online, and then Jim delivers them, you know, when I need them. And his sale is pretty close to when we turn out. So I'm usually probably pretty high on the list of getting them turned out. So
Jim has that ideal that he wants to, you know, service people in that way, and that free delivery, you know, is one of these major, you know, for us out here is a major thing. And as far as the service, you know, has been excellent. And it calls up and asks about the bulls and how they're doing, and so we've been very satisfied with that.
I think people that have never bought cattle from us are, you know, they're just going to get a no-nonsense type of bull, a bull that's, once he walks out of the ring, he's ready to go to work. So our bulls are going to come out of the trailer. They're going to have their, you know, working clothes on. You know, nothing. We're not hiding anything with white muscle, and they're going to breed a pile of cows and sire some real nice calves that have got a lot of length and performance to them. And we don't breed them little short, squatty kind of cattle. We like cattle with some actual grow and length of body and some thickness, and, you know, good scrotal and good feet. Feet are our big priority here, because if they got bad feet, we take them to town and get rid of them.
Again, this year our annual sale will be an all online, all digital bull sale on Superior. It worked so well last year that we decided to do it that way again this year. We had a lot of positive comments last year about the online sale. You can sit at home in front of your fireplace or wherever and buy bulls and not have to worry about bad roads and stuff. The sale will be Friday, March 14th on Superior. Click to bid. You can go to feltonangus.com or bid.superiorlivestock.com. We'll have the catalog posted up there. You can get a buyer's number there and see all the bull lot videos and whatnot. You're always welcome to come out to our Deer Lodge location and see the bulls for yourself. Just give us a shout and we'll make sure you get taken care of. And then I'll personally deliver your bulls to your ranch anywhere in the lower 48 states. Since we changed the format of the sale, the dates will be different than the way we did it in the past. This year, the sale will be Friday, March 14th on Superior. Click to bid. We'll be on bid.superiorlivestock.com, 1 o'clock Mountain Time, which will be 2 Central and noon Pacific, and it will be live at the Superior Livestock Studios in Hudson Oaks, Texas. And everything will be the same. It's just that the auctioneer won't be at our place, and I'm looking forward to it, and we look forward to you tuning in on sale day.
For more information on the 2025 Felton Angus Bull Sale, log on to feltonangus.com or superiorlivestock.com, and be sure to follow them on their social media. To find out more about us, visit our website, theamericanrancher.com, or connect with us on Facebook or YouTube. I'm Pam Minnick. For our entire American Rancher team, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.